Yes, yes, yes. We are live, back in action, attacking your speakers from the field to the bleachers. This is the Power 32 podcast with my main man, Mr. Primetime 313, hailing from Detroit where it's snowing right now. That sucks.
Yeah, it's snowing, it's getting chilly. Um, yeah, this is where all the maniacs, they save up all their energy over the summer and spring, and then they use all of that idiotic energy when it comes to driving, for these
Yeah.
next 4 or 5 months or so.
Oh.
So it's gonna be you've got like 2, 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever coming overnight. So the drive into work tomorrow is gonna be a little bit dicey. Fortunately for me, I leave before a lot of people are even waking up. So hopefully I won't have too much traffic to battle, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how
I don't
it
know how
goes.
fortunate that is that you're waking up at the crack of dawn. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call that fortunate. I was unfortunate. Speaking of driving, just telling you off the air real quick that I'm in the right-hand lane. It's pouring rain down here in Florida, and some schmuck in some black truck is freaking not paying attention at all. Swerves into me. I have to move out of the way. Obviously, I go up on the curb, pop the tire, have to wait like an hour and a half for roadside service to get there, and this guy just drives away like it's no freaking problem. Probably didn't even know what happened. Probably had no idea what was even going on.
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt. He probably did. That's the killing part. He probably knew exactly what was going on. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep on rolling.
What
I'm
a
gonna keep on
fuck
rolling.
state. So fucked up. For you people out there, have a heart, man. Damn it. I mean, at least pull over and make sure I'm all right. Never know what could have happened. It could have been a lot worse. But nevertheless, we are here. We are ready to talk NFL. We have the hour of power. It is upon us. We got fantasy football talk, and we appreciate all you guys. Your feedback. We love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The Power 32 podcast would not be what it is without you guys. So, you ready to roll, Prime? We got a lot to get to today. There's,
Absolutely.
Some people in wheelchairs rolling into some facilities today.
What
We'll get to that in a second.
What the hell is that all about?
Unbelievable. Wow. Okay. Well, before we get into anything, we have to do our NFL trivia.
Am I too loud on this? Not to cut you off. Is this loud? I sat the mic aside for the week. Am I too loud right now, or am I?
No,
right?
you're good, man.
Cool.
If anything, maybe you're even a little bit low, but no, the voice. No, it's perfect. You're good.
Cool. All right.
You're good. Maybe it's even turn up my mic a little bit, but no. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. NFL trivia time. Here we go. Your mic is good. We're ready to roll. The 2015 Deflategate controversy began with a championship game between which two teams? Again, the 2015 Deflategate controversy began in a championship game between which two teams?
Well, number one.
Obviously, you know one.
Yeah, New England is one. I'm trying to figure. Was it the? Man. I really need to start brushing up on some of this. I'm gonna say the. Here I go.
2015. It definitely was the Patriots. Obviously,
yeah.
Who did they play in that AFC Championship game in 2015?
Was it the Colts?
It was the Colts. Bam!
Yeah.
Nailed it, bro.
There you go.
Well done.
There you go. And I almost talked myself out of it as usual. So
there you see, you didn't talk yourself out of it. Nice.
You know,
it could have been Denver, Peyton Manning. You're thinking maybe Baltimore. Pittsburgh, but nope, you nailed it. Indianapolis Colts. Perfect.
All right.
Well done. Well done. Which brings us to the Indianapolis Colts of today, the 2025 Indianapolis Colts, where Philip Rivers is not on that team. Daniel Jones out for the rest of the season. He needs Achilles surgery. Philip Rivers coming out of retirement at the age of 44 to try to help the Colts get to the playoffs. I mean, this was crazy news to me. He hasn't played since World War II. This guy has not played football in a long time. But the thing about it, I mean, look, everybody's got the Tom Brady syndrome. They think because Tom Brady, the GOAT, he was able to play till 45, that anybody can go and do it. Like Aaron Rodgers at 42 right now, he's doing okay, but not Brady winning a Super Bowl at the age of 42. I mean, Rivers has not played legitimately since 2021, and it was with the Colts, and he's got a relationship with the team. He knows Shane Steichen very well. They talk about even the Indianapolis Colts offense, believe it or not, on a weekly basis. But to come in and step in at 44 years old and try to salvage this season when they got, who do they have left in their schedule? Seattle, San Fran, Jacksonville, and Houston.
Yeah, they have 4 tough games.
Are you kidding me? How can they even ask this guy to come back?
Well,
I know Riley Leonard is a little banged up, but
right.
Brian, what are your thoughts on this? This is
what
great.
do you here? I'm going to ask you yours. Who do you, when we look at the landscape of the NFL and we look at all, we always talk about starting quarterbacks and the usual suspects, Burrow and Allen and Mahomes and Goff and Stafford, but we rarely go into detail about backup quarterbacks. And backup quarterbacks, especially this time of year, is very, very important. That's why I always hang by a thread with the Lions, because Jared Goff is just one hit away from being in the same situation that the Colts are in right now. So
yeah.
I should have probably, but I didn't really take a look around to see who else was available for the Colts to get. But was that desperation? Philip Rivers has 10 kids. He hasn't played in 4 or 5 years.
He's a grandfather.
He's a grandfather, for crying out loud. He's 44 years old. So when you look at the grand scheme of it, I think Shane Steichen, you mentioned the relationship. My thing is I think the Colts were on their way to something, and they're doing anything in their power to try to keep that going. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't think Philip Rivers. I think if Riley Leonard's able to go within the next week or two, he'll probably end up being the starter. But when you mention those 4 teams that they still have to play, Seattle's defense is for real. You're ending the season at Houston. You're going to throw them to the Wolves just like that? Godspeed, Philip Rivers. Godspeed.
Yeah, no kidding. He's got a tough task ahead of him. Again, he's only signed to the practice squad right now, but there's talk of him actually playing this Sunday against Seattle. You've got to be kidding me. Tough task in itself, but Philip, I thought maybe the Giants would let Russell Wilson go and pick him up. I'm not saying it's necessarily a better option, but him, Jameis Winston, a couple of guys in the Giants. I really don't know, but obviously they can't make a trade. We're way past the trade deadline.
Right.
So they're stuck 44-year-old Philip Rivers, man. I can't wait to see. Look, I'm rooting for him. I'll tell you that. I'm rooting for him.
I am too, but I'm also worried. I'm praying for him as well. I'm praying for him because if he's got to start off his comeback trail with the Seattle Seahawks, and that defense is pretty damn good, it might be his last game. I'm not going to throw dirt or put anything out there in the universe, but this is not good for the Indianapolis Colts right now. And shame for Daniel Jones and his comeback player of the year quest. He was having a phenomenal season. The Colts were doing their thing, and now they sit here wondering what the hell the rest of their season is going to be with 4 games left.
Yeah, now Philip Rivers might be the comeback player of the year if he does well in these next 4 games. Maybe they only have to go 2-2 to make the playoffs, but do we really think they're going to do anything? No. Philip Rivers, I'm rooting for you, buddy, but geez, man, I just don't know about this one. And the Colts, remember I told you last week they haven't won in Jacksonville in a long time? I didn't even realize how long it was. They lost again. It's been 10 years. What is going on? It don't matter who's the quarterback there, who's the coach. Jim Irsay gone here. Unbelievable. 10 years they cannot beat them. I don't understand that. But let me go to another team real quick. It's now or never for the Buffalo Bills, with the Chiefs seemingly out of it. No Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. Herbert, okay, but he never won a playoff game even.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence, whatever. It's now or never for Buffalo. They have to go all the way this year. They're not even going to get a first-round bye. It's going to be the Patriots in all likelihood. They do play again, and we're going to talk about that. But, damn, bro, this is the year for them. They have to do it. They have Josh Allen. They have James Cook. They have, go through whatever. But, like I mentioned, no Burrow, no Lamar. Maybe Lamar will be in there. They could win that division, but Pittsburgh just beat them. No Patrick Mahomes. Right? It's got to be Buffalo's year.
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to Josh Allen for giving me like 217 points in my fantasy, carried me into the playoffs. It was looking
Yeah,
kind of weak there for a minute. So I'm in. We're in the playoffs and in our
yes, sir.
fantasy league. So shout out to Josh Allen. Zay Flowers had an appearance as well. But getting to your point, this is the perfect season, the perfect storm for Josh Allen as we go into the last 4 weeks of the season with him. Like you say, all these other quarterbacks aren't doing what we expected them to do. Kansas City basically out of it. We know Joe Burrow and those guys, no matter what they do. Well, I can't say that. I can't say that. There may be some sliver of hope for them. Lamar Jackson and company, even if they do get into the playoffs, it doesn't look like they're going to make any noise. So there goes, there still goes my Baltimore Ravens pick to get to the Super Bowl. But this is the year. This is the year. And it's weird because you look at the Steelers, you heard the fire Tomlin chants, you heard the fire Harbaugh chants.
Yeah,
That's insane. And so this is the perfect storm for Josh Allen and company to get in, at least get to the Super Bowl. Maybe not win it, but at least get to the Super Bowl, at least get part of that monkey off their back. Because if they don't, then you're going into next season and you might start hearing the fire Sean McDermott chants because they simply haven't been able to get it done.
yeah, man. There's a chance if the Bills don't get it done this year that he might be gone. Again, there's just when somebody's been there for a long time and you haven't got it done, you need to change things up now. Is there a better option out there? I don't know. We can get into head coaching talk another time, but McDermott is a good coach, but he's a defensive guy, and their defense is not playing well and hasn't been
Mm-hmm.
playing well for some time right now. They got New England, Cleveland, Philly, and then the Jets to end things out. I'm looking at them winning most likely 3 out of 4 of those games because Philly ain't playing well. They are at New England this week, and that should be really interesting. New England already beat them in Buffalo earlier in the year, so looking forward to that game, no doubt about it. Another AFC East team. How about the Dolphins at 6-7? They have the same record as the Chiefs and the freaking Ravens, man. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Who thought that would have happened?
That's crazy. And so now, you talk about head coaches on a hot seat. Maybe now the little nerdy guy out there, maybe he salvaged himself another season. Maybe Miami's onto something. I
Yeah,
still think they can do a few things to kind of shore up that defense, but they've won 4 in a row, and a lot of the talk has simmered down. You haven't really heard too much extra noise coming out of Miami. Tyreek Hill or Waddle or anybody. Nobody complaining about not getting the ball. Nobody not complaining about not being a prevalent part of that offense. And
yeah. It's almost
way to
like
go,
Tyreek
Miami.
Hill was like addition by subtraction. Like you got his nonsense out of there, and
Yep,
now all of a sudden, what they won like 4 games in a row or
yep,
something like that, or
yep.
whatever it is. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, Hill
go
won't be a part of
Dolphins.
that team.
I
Yeah,
tweeted Richmond Webb, and he's as happy as can be right now that the Dolphins won 4 in a row, and they're still not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
that's right. And he's a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame this year.
It's
He
about damn
deserves to get
time.
in.
It's about
God,
damn time.
he deserves to get in so bad. There's just so many good players out there that are waiting to get in. It's going to be so hard for him to get in. But Richard Webb, man, I don't know how you leave out one of the best left tackles that we've like literally
I
ever seen.
I don't know. And we talked about it when he was on our show. Um, he had to go up against Bruce Smith like
Yeah,
16 times.
yeah,
He gave
man.
up like
You
three
can,
sacks in total or something. Like I had all
I,
the stats when we did the show, but they, I've been pushing for it. You've been pushing for it,
no
and
doubt.
hope I'm sure it's going to happen this time. But it's long overdue. Long overdue.
It better have. Oh man, I would love it if it happened. I really do. I would love it if it happened. So you made the fantasy football playoffs. It was getting a little tight there
It
for all of a
was.
sudden.
It was.
I did get. I'm in 2 leagues, so I finished second in both leagues actually. So I have a bye. My team for our playoffs. You can get yours up while I'm going. I got Matt Stafford, AJ Brown, C.D. Lamb, Jonathan Taylor. My other running back situation is kind of messed up right now. I can either use Tyrone Tracy or Alvin Kamara if he ever gets healthy,
Mhm.
Christian Rodriguez, but that's a problem. But I do have Brock Bowers. I can play Kenneth Gainwell if I want to. The Rams defense has been killing it for me this year. So I don't have a really good bench, but my starters are good. And the good thing about CeeDee Lamb, I mean, not a good thing. I mean, he had a concussion. So the fact that I have off this week is really going to help. Hopefully he'll be back in a couple of weeks. So who do you got going on? Who's your team?
I got Josh Allen. I got Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman. I got Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams. Got Tyler Warren, who kind of fell off a little bit as time's gone on.
Don't worry, Phillip Rivers is coming. It's okay.
Oh, he's going to throw to him 150 times. I
him
got
and his sidearm throw.
I got Cortland Sutton, who finally made an appearance this week in the end zone. I got Quinshon Judkins. I got Kyle Pitts, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Rodgers, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Justin Fields. And Wan'Dale Robinson hasn't played much. I picked him up off the waiver wire a few weeks ago. Really haven't played him that much. And then my kicker is Harrison Butker. And I got Philly and Dallas's defense. So, and there's a possibility that you and I could end up meeting in the playoffs. So I'm going to figure out what I can, I'm hoping I can keep getting these 50-point weeks from Josh Allen, because right now he's carrying us.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play you, man. You got a pretty good team. I mean, A.J. Brown is hit or miss. Jordan Addison has J.J. McCarthy throwing him the ball. Jonathan Taylor has been slumping lately as a result of Colts not playing well. I don't know. I'm a little nervous, man. But I have another league. Let me get your opinion on this team. I finished, again, second in this league. Here we go. I got Dak Prescott, Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, Michael Pittman, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, Josh Jacobs, RJ Harvey, Seattle Seahawks defense, Jalen Waddle, Tyrone Tracy, and Rome Odunze. That's a scary team.
That's a good team. That I'm not going to sit up here and sugar. That's an awesome team.
That's a deep team right there. I mean, this is a really deep team. If everybody's healthy, I should do some serious damage in the playoffs, man.
You should kind of run away with that. I mean, especially your receiving core. Come on.
I know, crazy, right?
That's crazy. So
somebody dropped McLaurin, a while ago. They figured out he's not coming back. I'm like, you know what? I got room. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna pick him up, and if he comes back, good for me, man. And now I got him. I can use him if I want to.
There you go.
Sometimes,
like you told me earlier in the season, when I was kind of disappointed on draft night, and you mentioned it a couple of times since. Sometimes it's you never know. That's the cool thing about fantasy football. You never know who's going to perform week to week. You never know how quickly somebody's going to give up on a guy on the waiver wire or something like that. And next thing you know, you pick up somebody like a Terry McLaurin off of a trade or waiver wire or whatever, and he's going to end up contributing to your team down the stretch. So, but that's a hell of a team you got. That's a hell of a team.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. I'm hoping to at least take home one championship out of the
Is that a Yahoo league?
This one is, believe it, what are they called? Sleeper, it's called?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sleeper. It's a weird, we've been doing it for like, I think about 4 years now. It's a bunch of different podcasters that we all know each other. We go back, a whole bunch of years. So, Damian Adams, the real deal Damian Adams, he decided to start up the league. And for whatever reason, he picked the Sleeper League. And it works fine. Works just fine. No problem with it. But yeah, first time I've ever used that one. But anyway, here we go. We're going to introduce a little different segment today. We've been doing a few of that, messing around a little bit, messing around with a few different names. But we're going to do a little Believe It or Not today, Prime. So I'm going to make a statement. You're going to tell me, believe it or not, and why. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First question. Believe it or not, Mike Tomlin will be the Steelers' head coach in 2026.
We go back and forth on this, and I know I've wavered back and forth on this. At this point, especially if they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to say no, even though they do have, I think, another year left before they do the whole option thing or however that works. I'm going to say, no, you know what? I'm going to say yes. I don't see them. I think it's going to be a farewell tour type thing. They'll give him, it'll be like a mutual parting of the ways next season. But I would be shocked kind of if they did anything to him, now and the offseason. I see Tomlin one more season. One more year for Mike Tomlin, Mikey T. All right. So believe it or not, he says one more year for Mike Tomlin. Believe it or not, Bill Belichick will come back to the NFL. Oof. That's a good one. there's a lot of rumblings. I know North Carolina hasn't turned out the way that he thought.
Not at all.
But the thing is, Prophet, is how a guy that smart could go into that situation in North Carolina and actually think that it was going to be something that he could instantly turn around is beyond me. We all thought he was smarter than that. I would say no. I think he may stick it out one more year in Carolina just because he's stubborn like that. But it wouldn't shock me if he ended up resigning, they buy him out or whatever, because it's not really about what he wants. When you're dealing with college football, it's about what the athletic directors and the boosters and the donors and all that. So if they start clamoring for him to go, then he'll go. But I think he'll stick it out one more season.
Yeah, I never thought that was a good fit to begin with. I
Ever.
can't believe that he went to college. Weird, and no, it has not worked out at all. Has not worked out. It has worked out for George Pickens going to Dallas. So believe it or not, George Pickens will be a Cowboy next season.
If they're smart, yes. But again, this is the Cowboys, and this is Jerry Jones is still in charge of everything. So it's going to be, if I'm Dallas, I get whatever, not whatever he wants, but I kind of go ahead and get that done and out of the way so it's not carrying over in the next season like the whole CeeDee Lamb thing dragged out, that Prescott dragged out, going to end ugly like it did with Micah Parsons.
Right.
If I'm Dallas, he's definitely a part of my plans for next season.
Yeah,
I
that
hope
offense.
not, as a Giants fan, I hope not, but
Right.
I think he will. I think they'll be
Yeah,
smart.
that
this
offense has been tops in the league, man. George Pickens
Crazy.
has been a really big deal, no doubt about it. I think he's second in the league in receiving yards. He's catching touchdowns, no doubt. All right. Believe it or not, Pete Carroll will be the Raiders head coach next
No,
week.
no,
That was a quick
absolutely
one.
not. Absolutely not. If they keep Pete Carroll going into next season, there's going to be a revolt in Raider Nation. There's no way he shouldn't even be the coach now. But I think there's a few commodities out there. You know, look for a guy, you know, we've talked about this before, a guy that's looking to get back into head coaching. Guy like Cliff Kingsbury. You know, a guy along those lines who, you know, who's itching to get back into head coaching. You called it out earlier this year that the Commanders aren't what they were last year. The shine is kind of worn off on that. So Cliff Kingsbury, if he's smart, I think he kind of bails out and goes and puts his name in the hat for the Raiders job, especially when they're in position right as it stands right now to be able to draft another quarterback.
Good take right there. I like it. Well done. Okay. All right. Expanding upon the Pete Carroll will not be with the Raiders next year. All right. Believe it or not, the Seattle Seahawks are the best team in the NFL.
No. And the reason I say that so quickly is because I'm a Rams lover. Not a fan of the Rams, so to speak, but you know me, Rams are my Super Bowl pick. They are for real. And they're going to be a problem for whomever they end up playing in the playoffs. You do not want to look across on the other side of the bracket, and you got to go against Sam Darnold. However, it's Sam Darnold. And what's he going to do in the playoffs? If Sam Darnold makes a deep run in the playoffs this year, I think a lot of the perception that a lot of people have about him not being this and not being that, I think a lot of that starts to go away if they make a deep run in the playoffs. But if they go in the playoffs and stink it up and lose in probably the second round, because I still don't think they'll get the first round bye, it's going to be the same old talk, same old Sam Darnold, but not enough for Seattle to like move on from him or anything like that, because I still think he's probably got a couple, 2-3 more good regular seasons left in him.
Yeah, he's been doing really well this year. Had that one really bad game against the Rams, your team right there, where he threw those 4 interceptions. And even still, they were in that game and missed a field goal at the end to win it. So it says a lot about their defense, their coaching. Mike McDonald doing a really good job over there. But, all right, say Seattle, not the best team in the NFL. Believe it or not, Shedeur Sanders will be the Browns' starting quarterback next season.
Yes. You say next season, right?
Next season.
Yes, he will. And and shout out to Mr. Sanders with the 364 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick and got sacked a couple times this past week, but I think this is what people thought they were going to get when he was drafted. And shame on Cleveland for doing what they did. That's, water under the bridge now. taking them so late. But I do think they're on to something. My question to you, on a side note, is Kevin Stefanski going to be the coach? Or, Kevin Stefanski going to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns next year? That's the way that he handled this whole season with the quarterback issue. It kind of, to me, it kind of like, we can't afford to have that going in the next season if we truly want to be something. So is Stefanski going to be there next year?
Yeah, maybe it depends how these last few games pan out, even though they have no shot at the playoffs, obviously. We're talking about a guy who's won Coach of the Year twice already, so it will be hard to replace him, and you do want an offensive guy there. I don't think you're going to roll the dice on like a Josh McDaniels or anything like that. I mean, it's going to be tough to find a head coach to step in, but as far as Cleveland goes, I think it's more likely than not Kevin Stefanski will still be there because there's a lack of a coaching crop coming out of whether it's the college ranks or in the NFL somewhere. So I just don't think it's a better option.
But can you say, though, and I know this isn't a Cleveland Browns show, can you say that he's wasted a really good defensive season, especially for Myles Garrett? He's wasted a really good defensive season on his inability to stick with a quarterback. And I know when you think about, they really didn't have a lot to choose from, but in a situation like that, with that defense, if you would have been able to stick with one quarterback, do you think that would have made a difference in the Browns' record at all?
It may have, most likely, but you went into the season with two rookie quarterbacks in Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and you signed an old Joe Flacco, speaking of quarterbacks in their 40s, to come in and kind of like ride the ship, thinking that we have a solid defense over here. We just need somebody who's not going to turn the ball over on offense and maybe score us 20, 23 points a game. Mm-hmm. So I don't entirely blame Kevin Stefanski because they drafted Dillon Gabriel ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So giving him a shot first made sense. He took more reps with the team. Then he got hurt, and in steps in Shedeur. And look, he had a very good game last week against Tennessee. Them losing is not his fault. He played a really good game, but we don't have a good enough scope to say, Shedeur Sanders, he should have been playing the entire season. I don't know that for sure, but I do know that Kevin Stefanski's hands were kind of tied a little bit by the organization saying, look, we're going with Joe Flacco over here. You don't have anything to say about it. We're starting a veteran quarterback, and we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. Flacco out. In comes, again, Dillon Gabriel because he was drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders. He gets hurt. Now it's Shedeur's turn. So I don't entirely blame Stefanski for the way that it was entirely handled, although I do see your point, and it makes a lot of sense.
I can roll with that. I agree.
All right. Let's get a few more in here. Is Jayden Daniels just having a sophomore slump, believe it or not, or is he for real?
You know what? A sophomore slump. C.J. Stroud went through his. Yeah. And he was still productive. I think Jayden Daniels has just looked bad this year. Even though, I know he's been hurt, but I think he's just looked bad. And I don't know. I don't think this will be indicative of how he'll be going forward. I think, water always finds its level. He won't be as good as he was last year, and he can't be as bad as he was this year. But to be that superstar, next level, next conversation, top tier quarterback that a lot of people thought he was going to be, I think a lot of people need to pump the brakes on that. I know you called that out earlier in the season, before the season. And so we'll see, if this continues going into next season, and I'm not sure if it's the injuries in his head or whatever the case, but Washington as a whole hasn't really played that great this season. So sophomore slump for him, maybe. Is it overall a byproduct of how the team has played? Could be, but he's played pretty bad this year, even in the games that he's played.
Yeah, and he's got to put some weight on, man. He is way too thin. If he's going to can't be getting hurt every single year, man. You have got to put weight on. Put that boy in the freaking weight room, man. No joke. Holy shit.
Give him some pasta and some steaks and some potatoes.
Right, exactly. Those carbs going, man.
Right.
All right, believe it or not, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
I'm going to delay 1, 2, 3. No. You already know where I'm going with this. It's that number 9 guy from the Rams.
Woo!
However, Josh Allen has proven to me, if you talk about a quarterback that is capable of literally taking a team, putting them on his shoulders, and willing them to victory, that game this past week against the Bengals was absolutely insane. I watched it
Oh my
from
God.
start to finish. It was probably the best game of the season, and they were down. They were down by 10 until the back-to-back interceptions. But none of that matters unless Superman puts on his cape and goes ahead and does what he does. So, best quarterback in the league? No, just because I'm partial to Stafford. But if there's like I say, if there's a quarterback that I need 3 touchdowns rushing and 3 touchdowns passing, he's going to be the guy that I call.
Yeah, man. You know, and I think about right now as you're talking, what if Josh Allen was on the Rams? I don't even know if that would work out necessarily because of his style of play. There's so many good players around there.
You know what? No, I think that would be a something that Sean McVay would learn to deal with.
Yeah.
As smart as he is, he'd be able to fit that. You just do you, Josh, and we'll figure everything else out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out, right? I like it. All right, so going with Stafford, best quarterback right now in the NFL. Believe it or not, we got a few more of these. Jordan Love can take the Packers to the Super Bowl. Believe it or not.
Well, I'm going to say this. I know you don't think so. I'll tell you what. Watched a lot of football in my day, and you and I both have seen some really good games. That atmosphere on Sunday night in Lambeau was electric. And that was like a playoff game. Big time. And if not for Caleb Williams underthrowing by 5 yards, we're having a whole different conversation. But again, this kind of goes to what we talk about. We talk about Sam Darnold. Will he do it in the playoffs? You know he's going to give you one here or there. It's just a matter of when it's going to be and how bad it's going to hurt the team. But right now, they're playing as well as anybody in the league.
Yeah, they're playing real good.
And so I won't say that he can carry them to the Super Bowl, but I think they can make a nice little run in the playoffs. And I can't say too much because I don't want them, I'd like the Lions to go further than them in the playoffs. Yeah. But no, I don't think so. I think they go out, second round maybe, and then kind of build off of that going into next year.
Yeah, look, they do have the build for. I like the head coach a lot in Matt LaFleur. Obviously, they have a really, really good defense, top 5 in the league. Josh Jacobs, running game that can travel. But when it comes to Jordan Love, like you said, can he carry the team? I don't know. Getting Christian Watson back was a big thing, but Matthew Golden hadn't come on like we had thought he would. Romeo Dobbs, he's a pretty good player.
With the Guardian cap.
Helmet.
But that's, I think, Prophet, that's going to be the key to the Packers is how long are these, for all intents and purposes, no-name receivers going to be able to play at the level they're playing. Like I said earlier, everything finds its level, and these guys are playing out of their minds right now, but how soon before they come back down to earth, if at all?
No doubt. Yep, we shall see. All right, a couple more. Believe it or not, this is the end of the Chiefs dynasty.
I'm going to say no, simply because Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are too good. I will say this, though. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, an aging Travis Kelce, and a lack of a consistent running game. They've had spurts here and there with a bunch of different guys.
No doubt.
I think they need a solid number 1 receiver, and I know you're high on Rashee Rice, but they need some more consistency in the passing game, and maybe they can keep going, receiver by committee the way that they've been doing. But I think it's time for them to either, to go really start to take a hard look at their offense, because it's kind of doing what Philly's been doing the last few weeks and not really playing up to their potential. And I think all of that, Patrick Mahomes' shoulders are just tired from carrying this team for the last, 5 years or so.
Absolutely.
5-6 years. So I think they make some couple moves here and there on defense. Maybe Chris Jones shows up again next year. Who knows? But I don't think it's over. But over is what? Winning more Super Bowls? We don't know. But, their playoff run was briefly interrupted. and we'll see what happens next year.
All right, so note of that. The Prophet's going to give you a little prophecy right now. Tyreek Hill will be back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Not that he's going to make a tremendous difference, but he will be back there. The Dolphins will work out some sort of trade, get him out of town. The Chiefs will take him because not many other teams will at this point. So we'll see. All right, I got one more for you. Believe it or not, the Houston Texans, who have been on an absolute roll, will win the AFC South.
If I say yes, that's going against what you said. If I say yes, that's going against what I said.
Right.
Being thinking about the Colts.
Yeah.
I'll say right now, because they play each other again, don't the Jags and the Texans play each other one more time this year?
I'm pretty sure they got one more. Yep.
So,
as you know what? What's up to Dave McKnight in the house?
What's up, McKnight? How you doing? All things being equal, do you trust CJ Stroud in that defense more than you trust Trevor Lawrence? That's what it comes down to. So I'm going to say yes. As it sits right now, I'm going to say yes.
So he believes that the Houston Texans been on an absolute freaking roll lately. No doubt about it. That defense shut down Patrick Mahomes and whatever offense they got, all the receivers that you mentioned and everything. Yeah, man, no doubt. Texans, they're looking pretty freaking good, brother. Looking pretty good. All right.
Jacksonville's looking good, too.
Not.
Jacksonville's looking really good, too. That was your pick at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
To win that. They're looking very, very, 9-4. You are what your record says you are. So.
I did pick them for the AFC South. You are right about that. So we will see. 9-4, looking pretty good right now. And, 4 games left to go, I believe there is. So, that sucks. Week 15 already. Come on. What's going on over here? What's McKnight got over here saying Texas will win the AFC South? That's a championship defense. Yeah, and you said indeed on that one. I'd have to agree, man. I mean, right now, I did pick Jacksonville, so I'll stay with my pick. But Houston, watch out. Not even just the AFC South, but the entire freaking conference. Watch the hell out.
But you know what? And real quick, Prophet, to McNiner's point too, they have a lot of teams don't have that star on every level. They might have like a star on a defensive line or a linebacker, but they got Danielle Hunter on the line. You got Will Anderson in your linebacking core, and then you got Stingley in the secondary. And that's all, that's all the rest. They make all of the rest of those guys better, man. And they, like McNiner said, that's a championship defense.
And a great defensive head coach, D'Amico Ryans, who is the players coach. They love him to death. Yep. They'd run through a brick wall for him. No doubt about it, man. Unreal. Yep. Great stuff, brother. Great stuff. All right. So we keep the show rolling. How do we do that? A little Ripley's Believe It or Not. Let's do it. Presented by StreamYard. How about that? Yeah,
right.
Wants to present this.
This is Big Deal or No Deal, presented by StreamYard and the Power 32 podcast. This is the segment of the show where I hit the Prophet with several different scenarios, and he tells us whether it is a big deal or no deal at all. And we're going to start right now with the trouble in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's lost 3 in a row. Yeah. Jalen Hurts throws 4 interceptions and has 5 turnovers. He's been like the first player in 50 years or so to have 2 turnovers on the same play.
Crazy.
The interception, the guy, he calls the fumble, he recovers the fumble and then fumbles. What is it a big deal or no deal right now? Are they in any jeopardy at all of losing that division to the Cowboys? And is this a big deal or no deal that they've lost 3 in a row?
I think their schedule kind of favors them to answer that first part. They got the Raiders, the Commanders twice. Yeah. They do have the Bills, so they should probably win 3 out of 4. But I have no confidence in this team going forward at all. I mean, they're looking more like that 2023 team or 2024, whatever year it was, opposed to 2025 going back last year and they won the Super Bowl. Bro, even Saquon Barkley, he had 122 rushing yards last night, and they didn't win the game. Monday Night Football, I know you're on the road, but you should be the better team. You were favored to win. You're 8-4. You're in LA. You got the guys. A.J. Brown dropping balls, even though he caught a few nice passes and everything. Yeah, I'm worried. And you know what I'm really worried about? The reason why I don't think that offense is rolling the way it should? Jalen Hurts ain't running the ball. And I mentioned this to you already. What the hell is going on? That, what to me, even above Saquon Barkley, that is what made the Eagles offense the Eagles offense. The fact that Jalen Hurts can pull it down and run anytime. Not just that, but have design runs as well. Where did that go this year? Is that a Kevin Petula thing, the offensive coordinator? I don't know. But I have no faith in this offense. And the funny thing is, last night is probably the best they've looked in a couple of months. And they were only able to put up, 19 points or 22 or whatever the hell it was. Not enough, man. Too many field goals, not getting in the end zone. Don't trust them. Don't know what Jalen Hurts is doing, man. Pull the ball down, run with it. Put the fear back in the defense of you using those legs where you squat 7,000 pounds. Come on.
And to your point too, the threat of him running is not even there. He's not even putting in the other defense's heads that he's that he's going to run. And that's, it's like he's just made the conscious I don't know if it's a business decision. He's just made a conscious decision that, or like you said, maybe it's Kevin Petula. I don't know, because Jalen Hurts, if I'm Jalen Hurts, I see the offense struggle like that, and I know that there's something I can contribute, kind of like Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Then I'm going to do it. We need to put that fear back in the defense to where, is it Saquon, is it me, or am I going to throw it to Goddard or Brown or Smith? But yeah, right. It's totally out the window, man. So yeah, that is I agree, that is a big deal.
No doubt.
Let's see. The catch rule. I'm tired of it. Just like you're tired of fourth downs and this, I'm sick of it. I am sick and tired of the refs in 2025 not knowing what a catch is. So, and now it's costing people games because there was 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in that Baltimore game, and they call it a no touchdown with Isaiah Likely. Is this a big deal or no deal going forward? That's something that the NFL has to press and tell. Because here's my thing, and I don't mean to be long-winded. If a running back dives over the pile, the minute he crosses the plane, it's a touchdown, whether I pop it out when you jump over the pile or not. Why doesn't that say, why do I got to catch it, take 2 steps, and make a football move? I'm in the end zone. There's nowhere else for me to go. So why can't we in 2025 still figure out what the hell a catch is? And do you think this is a big deal or no deal?
Yeah, you see, it can't be one of those kind of calls where it's a judgment call. It's got to be, all right, there is clear, maybe just, you know what, he got 2 feet down. That's good enough. If the ball comes out in the end zone, it's still a touchdown. Mm-hmm. But it's weird that the rules are different in the end zone than they are in the field of play between the end zone. It really doesn't make sense. Where, again, like you said, you can just cross over, and it doesn't matter if you fumble the ball, it's still a touchdown. But yet, if you catch it, you got to not just get the 2 feet down, but make a football play. And Isaiah Likely, to me, for all God's goodness, that was a touchdown. That makes no sense to me. I don't understand it for the life of me. So, being the fact that it's a one-off kind of thing, and this doesn't happen often in the NFL, where, it's like, oh, geez, was that really a touchdown? Because we have all the replay, the assisted replay and whatnot. To me, the catch rule, it should change. Will it change? I just don't know, because it is so hard for them to go, again, if it's a judgment type of call, that is extremely difficult to go back and forth with and have the referees write a note to Baltimore saying, sorry, we got this one wrong.
Yeah, and like I say, now that could have potentially put them up and potentially cost them the game. So now we're getting into critical mass with this, and it's 2025 and we still can't tell what the hell a catch is and what isn't. So getting into a couple, we alluded on it earlier about the old guys coming back. So we got Phillip Rivers potentially coming back for the Indianapolis Colts, but also Jason Pierre-Paul worked out with the Bucs. And we all know that the Bucs have been kind of struggling lately. They're kind of falling back to the Panthers in that they're actually tied right now. I think they're both at 7-6. Is this a big deal or no deal that JPP decided to come back, and will he make an impact, if at all, on this defense that has been giving up 24, 25 points a game all season?
Jason Pierre-Paul. Let me count the ways that he can make an impact. One, two, wait, actually, I can't get to 10, so that's not going to happen. There's never enough fingers for that. So, no, I don't think he's going to have a huge impact, to be honest with you, Jason Pierre-Paul. He is way past his prime. I remember him playing with the Giants in 2011, and that was a freaking lifetime ago. So they're bringing him in because they need people. They need bodies in there. He's not even going to get 20 to 25 snaps a game. He's in there just to be another body. So no big deal that Jason Pierre-Paul is on the team. I don't think it's going to make a difference one way or the other with the Bucs' success. Again, I think that's more written on their D-backs and their linebackers. They're not getting home enough with their front four, so they have to play that cover two shell and keep their eyes on the quarterback. But again, you got Baker Mayfield, and he's had a lot of problems with guys staying on the field, whether it's Bucky Irvin or Godwin or Evans and yada yada, even Emeka Egbuka. But now, as far as Jason Pierre-Paul being on the team, nah, it doesn't make me look sideways one bit.
So we touched on this one earlier too. So Chicago goes into the Green Bay game, 9-3 on top of the world, this and the other, and they lose on basically what was a Caleb Williams mistake. Do you think that it's a big deal or no deal that they lose that game? And does this bring them back down to earth, or do you still think that the Chicago Bears, could still make a little bit of noise in the playoffs?
They maybe can make some noise in the playoffs, actually, yeah, because they got a really good head coach, and nobody expected this team to be 9-4 right now. So that's why it's really not a big deal, the fact that they lost to Green Bay, who is expected to not just make the playoffs, make a run to the Super Bowl possibly, and they gave him hell in Lambeau Field, as you mentioned, in that crazy weather, obviously, cold with crazy fans and all that craziness. So the Bears are showing that they are actually a really good team. And what can they do in the playoffs? Yeah, a lot of that depends upon matchups, but they got the run game. The quarterback isn't making mistakes. They got good head coaching. The defense is playing out of its mind right now. They're overachieving, if anything. If they can keep that going, I'm not saying Chicago's going to the Super Bowl or nothing like that, but they're a team that you don't want to play. And Caleb Williams, get these mistakes out now. Get them out of the way, because when the playoffs come, they're going to be few and far between. You can't do it.
Especially if somehow the cards fall where they end up getting a home game. Do you want to go into Do you want to go into Soldier Field or whatever Field in Chicago in in December, January? I sure as hell don't. So
no.
So speaking of the NFC, and I kind of just threw this together real quick. So right as it sits right now, you got Philly, Tampa, Green Bay, and the Rams all leading the division. In the hunt, you got the Bears, Lions, got the Seahawks, and the Niners. And then on the outside looking in, depending on what happens, you have the Cowboys and Panthers. So who gets the final playoff spot in the NFC? And as we go into the last 4 weeks of the season, I know that's going to decide a lot, but as it sits right now, who are your 7 teams? Who are your 3 wild card teams, I say, because we know the division champs are right now. Who are your 3 wild card teams in the NFC right now if the playoffs started today?
Yeah, division champs look like Philly, Green Bay. Tampa should win that division, but that's up in the air right now. And then between the Rams and the Seahawks, I don't know, but one of those will be a wild card team. The 49ers will be a wild card team, so that's 2 right there. And my third? Wow.
That's why I asked this, because it's the NFC is stacked right now, and it's going to be, you look at a team like the Lions that pretty much have to win out. They have to win that last game of the season against the Bears. The the Panthers are right there, and if the Cowboys, if Philly keeps playing the way that they're playing, the Cowboys could end up winning that division and basically knocking Philly out of the playoffs. So, but that's why I asked that, because we both agree that there's going to be 3 teams out of the West. So where does that last playoff spot come from?
I just honestly, your Lions are not playing really that well right now. They're not playing great football, and Chicago is playing better football, and they're being coached better right now. You can see it on the field. I know it's kind of weird, and I definitely would have not said this 5 weeks ago, or definitely not at the beginning of the year. But dude, I think Chicago's got the edge on Detroit right now. I know record-wise, they're a game ahead of them right now. They're 9-4. The Lions are 8-5. So that does help, but they play each other again once more, correct?
Yes, they do. Last
And
game of the
that's in
season.
what, Soldier Field?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, last game is in Soldier Field. So that game could very well end up determining the last wild card spot. But I'm shocked I'm saying this right now. Chicago is really well coached and they're playing really well. I think they get the last spot because if the 49ers don't and they fall off in these last 4 games, then I would say, yeah, Detroit and Chicago, and whether it's the Rams or the Seahawks. But the 49ers are playing really good football too, man. So I don't see them falling off.
And then McNiner says they still have Niners. I'm assuming he's talking about San Francisco. Still have a chance to win the NFC West. Need the Rams to lose a game. They play the Lions at home and the Seahawks in Seattle. That game this week is going to be kind of tugging at my heartstrings a little bit too, with the Rams and the Lions because I'm such a Stafford lover, always have been. The Lions need to win out. I don't think there's any two ways about the Lions need to go forward
right.
the rest of the season in order for them to get that playoff spot. But it's going to be a tough task for them this week going against Puka and company and Kyron Williams and Matt Stafford, Tyler Higbee, and your boy Adams and that defense. I'm not optimistic at the moment, but we'll get to that later when we talk about
Yeah, that's coming up in our picks, no doubt about it. So that is well done with a big deal and no deal. You always got great questions, bro. I never know what they're going to be, but you got great ones, so I appreciate it. Excellent job. Well done. All right, brings us to last week real quick, our week 14 picks. Prime and I actually tied at 9-5, so he's still up on the year at 8-3-1 now with the tie. And Prime, you won the freaky fantasy football draft, my friend.
It's about damn time.
You freaking won it, baby.
It's about
48-32. Nice job.
Oh, very low scoring. Very low scoring. Let's see. I have Pittman. Who did I go with? Daniel Jones or Goff?
Yeah, Daniel Jones got knocked out, so that's not your fault. Achane had a good day.
Yep. And then the Chargers defense.
Chargers defense.
Yeah, that's probably what put me over. It was the Chargers defense.
Chargers defense.
Turnovers, yeah.
No doubt. I did miserable. I can't believe how bad I did. Oh, my God. Disgusting.
Yeah, but you're still ahead by like 7 weeks, so it's
I think it's.
I'll take any victory I can get right now.
I might have won for the year, but damn, I hope you didn't listen to my picks last week because that was a mess. But yeah,
I mean, but still going 9-5. I mean, there was a couple of unexpected years in there. Those guys.
I did have a good betting weekend. I definitely did. I had a good betting weekend. That 5.5 really helped out in the Bills game. Thank you very much. And then the Green Bay, not the Green Bay game. What was the other 5.5 game? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. It's killing me. But there was another game that was 5.5 points that covered by like just 5. So these freaking guys in Vegas, man, they know what they're doing. It is unbelievable how close they are. Unreal.
And I tell people all the time that 5.5 point spread is one of they call it the devil's number, and it's for a reason. There's been times where a lot of times I think it's like 68-70% of the time that the team favored by 5.5 points, especially in college, just more so in college, ends up losing. I can't tell you how many times I've picked the correct ones when you go against that 5.5 point spread. So good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it worked out for me by 0.5 point. I'll take it any way I can. We're about to get into our picks over here, but McNarn is saying I smell a finish like 2019 when we won the NFC West and got the number 1 seed by 4 inches.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be, you know what? And you know what? Damn it. I'm done. No, whatever. We all know we all know the story. The 49ers, my whole tirade about them winning 6 games. And yeah, they won 6 games. And they're winning more. So, yeah.
There it is, baby.
I'm still got some of that humble pie in my teeth that I'm trying to pick out. So, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. All right, McNiner. I'm hoping, hey, look, I'll take a division win and the number 1 seed any freaking day right now. But I do like the Niners. They travel well. You still got Christian McCaffrey. Thank God the man is healthy. If he stays healthy, 49ers got a chance, man, because that defense is still playing really good. Brock Purdy, be careful with the football, my friend. All right, let's get into our picks over here. Thursday Night Football. We kick it off with an NFC South showdown. The Falcons at 4-9, the Bucks at 7-6.
I'm choking on my water. Showdown? That's funny.
Showdown, exactly.
I
don't know. With Atlanta, they're done. I mean, they should be trying to lose every game they can at 4-9. Tampa Bay all the way in this game. They need this game desperately. And Jason Pierre-Paul and his 8 fingers. We'll see if he makes a difference.
And well, the spread on that game is only 4.5, so Vegas isn't 100% confident in the
That's crazy.
Tampa Bay Bucks, right? At home, 4.5
is
points.
Is Kirk Cousins not the quarterback of the Falcons? I mean, are we not recognizing how bad that guy is? Come on.
That's funny. But yeah, they're only a 4.5 point favorite in that game, so it'll be, Vegas is like, maybe we'll see. They don't, the over under 44.5, so we'll see. But I'm gonna take the Bucks all day in that one too.
Yeah, I think they're looking for Bijan Robinson to having a really big day over there and running the ball all over the place.
Keep it close.
Yeah, and Tampa, especially the home team on Thursday night, usually is the one that pans out. But you never know. We'll see. But Tampa Bay needs this game on Thursday Night Football. Next, we go to the Browns and the Bears. So the Browns, again, we talked about their defense. They're 3-10. Myles Garrett looking to break that sack record against the Bears, who are 9-4 right now. And they could be 10-4 after this game, and depending on what happens in the rest of the division, maybe back up in first place. What do you think happens as Cleveland goes to Chicago?
Well, this is funny because the over-under in this one is only 39.5. Bears are favored by 7.5 in this one. Myles Garrett sits at 20 sacks. I look for him to maybe get at least one in this game. I'm going to take the Bears in this game, though. They're playing really good football this as of late, despite the fact that they lost in Green Bay. It's going to be cold. There's going to be some snow there this weekend. So 39.5 points. They're not anticipating it to be a very high scoring game. So give me the Bears in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears too. It'll be interesting to see how Shedeur Sanders looks, on the road against that defense over there and that coaching and having to put up points again like he did last week. But Chicago, again, I talked about it. They're playing really good football, and I think that they continue to do that into this weekend at home, beating Cleveland. Next up, we have the AFC North. Ravens 6-7 versus the Bengals 4-9. The Ravens always seem to kick their ass, Prime. Are they going to do it again?
They have to. This is a must-win game for the Ravens. They're a 2.5 favorite, so it's less than a field goal. So basically, this is a toss-up game, and I'm surprised that they're a road favorite. But the Vegas is not overly high on the Ravens because it's only a plus 120 on the money line for the Bengals. It is an over/under of 51.5. So that's a little bit interesting right there. I'd stay away from the over/under on that one. But I'm going to take the Ravens. It's a must-win game for them in order to keep up with Pittsburgh and hope against hope that they're in it for that final wild card spot. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, unless Lamar Jackson plans on running the ball, they're going to have a problem because Cincinnati is going to score points. They're going to put up 35-plus points. There's no doubt about it. Will Baltimore do that? Dude, I'm not 100% sold on Baltimore doing that. I don't really care that the game's in Cincinnati. It doesn't make much difference to me. But you know what? Baltimore's offense, not as good as Cincinnati's offense. And as far as the defenses go, I mean, yeah, Baltimore's got a better defense, but not by much, man. You know what? I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm going with the home team in this one.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Burrow and the boys to handle business over there. So give me the Bengals over the Ravens as we move on to our next game. The Arizona Cardinals, what a disappointment they are, man. Gee, I mean, I'm not disappointed because they're in my division, but damn, 3-10. What's going to be their quarterback situation next year? We'll talk about that as we go on with the show, in the next upcoming weeks, because it ain't going to be Kyler Murray, I'll tell you that.
No.
And they are taking on the red-hot Houston Texans, who are 8-5. Prime guaranteed to be 9-5 after this game. This will be my first lock.
Yep.
Houston is on a roll. They're at home. They should absolutely destroy Arizona.
Here's some interesting things when you're looking at the line. So they're a 9.5 point favorite.
I hate that line. I hate 9.5 more than you hate 5.5. 9.5 makes me sick. I hate that because you think, oh yeah, they'll win by 10, no problem, and then they win by 8 or 9. No,
There'll be a bad beat at the end of the game. They'll go for kick a field goal or something at the end of the game
crap.
to bust your chops. But that's a minus 560 money line for the Texans. That's crazy. And plus 420 if you're feeling froggy and want to pit the Jacoby Brissett led Arizona Cardinals in your back pocket for this week. But yeah, that's my lock as well. Give me the Houston Texans at 42.5. I'm not really over under kind of guy all the time, especially on games like this. But if it is 42.5, I'm sure Houston will be the one scoring the majority of those points. It'll be like a 30-13 type game or something like that.
Yeah, it might even be 42.5 to nothing. It might even be
right.
McNiner, red chickens can't fly. Talking about those freaking Arizona Cardinals over there. Did you know, by the way, a little side note, the Cardinals are the oldest franchise in football history? Did you know that?
They are right up there with the Bears and Lions, I believe.
Yeah, Chicago, St. Louis, they moved to, and obviously now with Arizona. Yeah, how about that? Really interesting. Little side note. Okay. All right, next up we got that right? That's a good trivia question. I should have asked you, but now you know. Too late. Oh well. All right, we got the New York Jets, who are 3-10. They need a quarterback. They should not be trying to win against the Jaguars, who are trying to stay a hold of the AFC South at 9-4. Do you see an upset in this game by any chance?
No, and this is going to be my second lock.
Okay.
I'm going to go with this is a 12.5 point, and they're minus 900 on the money line. If the Jets do manage to pull it off, and if you're feeling froggy, it's a plus 610 for the Jets, 41.5 on over and under. But give me the Jaguars straight up to beat the semi-hapless New York Jets.
Yeah, look, I'm with you on Jacksonville beating them. I'm trying to think if I want to lock them in or not because there's not a lot. There's a lot of good games this week, and and the bad games are the ones where you have, like 2-11 teams playing each other. I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold off on locking that, but I do like Jacksonville. I'll stay with that pick.
And they have to. This is a have to win game for Jacksonville if they want to keep ahead of the Colts and the Texans, who we both said the Texans are going to win this week. So Jacksonville has to win this game. If they lose, this will be a huge upset.
Yeah, they can't lose this game. You're 100% right about that. Jacksonville's got to win this game, no question. So I'm with you. They should go to 10-4, no doubt. All right, we talked about the AFC West a lot earlier. The Chargers are playing the Chiefs. They won earlier this year. I think it was week 2 or 3, whatever it was, in LA. This time they're going to Kansas City. So the 8-4 Chargers, or 9-4 Chargers, excuse me, because they just won last night. 9-4 Chargers. They are going to Kansas City to play the 6-7 Chiefs. What happens in this game?
And the reason why I'm huffing and puffing and all this, Vegas just will not give up on the Kansas City team.
I know, you ain't kidding.
Come on, give it a rest, man. Give it a rest, okay? Kansas City's a 4.5 point favorite in this game. 4.5 points over a team that is probably better than them in every single way, except maybe coaching, because we all love Andy Reid. Give me the Chargers in that game in the upset. I'll take it. I would actually take the 4.5 in that one if I was going to bet it like that. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers over the Chiefs. But Vegas just will not give up on the Chiefs, man.
I know. Because they think that the public still thinks that the Chiefs are Super Bowl bound. And look, they're 6-7, bro. They are not having a good year. They're not playing well. And Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert, they got their crazy game out of the way when they lost to Jacksonville, 35-6, I think it was. They're not going to let any kind of games like that happen again. Look, they're a better team. They're playing better football. Yeah. They got Omarion Hampton back last night. He got in the end zone. He's a dual threat. He can catch the ball.
Yeah, receiving touchdown.
That's exactly right. I'm going to go with the Chargers too. Kansas City, normally I would go with them at home, especially in an absolute must-win. But, dude, they ain't making the playoffs, man. They're not playing good football, so I'm with you on this one.
Here, let's take 20 seconds. Side note. What if we think we hear enough about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs now. What if some miracle happens and they miracle their way into the playoffs?
Ooh,
Oh my
wow.
God!
I
The amount of Kansas City talk and glazing would be
Oh, yeah.
nauseating.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It'd be disgusting, and I wouldn't be able to deal with it. And it will not happen because even if they win out, they're going to be 10-7. That's not getting you in. You're not getting in 10. You got to win 11 games. You have to, unless you are in the AFC North, where you can win apparently like 8 or 9 games, and it doesn't make a freaking difference. So
Right.
yeah, they're just in the wrong division this year. As Denver and LA are taking a hold of that one over there. We'll get to Denver in a little bit, but we have two contenders actually: the Bills and the Patriots. Like I said earlier, the Pats already beat them. That game was in Buffalo. Now they're in New England. So Buffalo at 9-4, going to the Patriots at 11-2. The Bills want their revenge so bad. They need to win this game if they want any shot at winning the AFC East. It is. This is going to be a tough game, man, because New England, very well coached. They have a very good offense. They don't turn the ball over. They have a good defense, good on both sides of the line. Tough game to pick over here, but I think that the Bills have Superman. They have the reigning MVP, and they have Josh Allen. And the fact that they need to win this game if they want to possibly get that number 1 overall seed, which I know is a tough task right now, especially with Denver out over there in the West. But they're going to play their hearts out. They're going to play their asses off. And I'm going to go with Bills. If you want to call it an upset, I don't even know what the line is. What is it?
I'm going to go with the Bills too. It's the Bills are actually favored by 1.5.
They are.
And
Wow.
here's how Vegas feels about that game. So Bills are favored 1.5, minus 118 on the money line, over under 49.5. The Patriots are only plus 100. So Vegas isn't too keen on thinking that the Patriots are going to lose, so much so that they're not going to put a lot of value into that for you if you were to go with the money line. So yeah, the Bills are actually favored by 1.5 in that game. So I'm going to go with the Superman-led Buffalo Bills, simply because this game, they need to win this game. And if they win this game, that'll actually put them tied, because New England.
Well, one game back. One game.
Yes, there'll
one
still be a
game
game back because they're a game back right now in the loss column. Yeah, so they need to win this game if they have any hopes of winning the division.
No doubt about it. Totally agree. So yeah, I think we may see the best of the Bills coming Sunday. All right. Oh, I get talked about. There's going to be a couple of bad games, and that would be the Commanders, who are 3-10, versus your New York Giants, who are 2-11. Oh God, nobody wants to see this one. But I think this will be a Jackson Dart coming out party or something like that. 2 touchdowns throwing, 2 running. I like Jackson Dart big time in this game. I'm going to play him on FanDuel this weekend. Give me the Giants to win this game.
You have a lot more confidence than I do. The Giants are actually favored 2.5 in that game. And again, this is kind of like the money line with the Bills and the Patriots. Washington only 2.5 dog. They're 116 plus on the money line, and the Giants are minus 136, over under 46.5. But I'm gonna go with my Giants simply because I haven't bet with them too much this season. I haven't gone with them too much this season, so
no reason.
I'm gonna throw them a bone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
All
them
right. So we're both on the Giants to take control of the Commanders on Sunday. Now we got the Raiders and the Eagles. Okay, so the Raiders are 2-11. The Eagles are not playing good football, but lucky them. They get to play the Raiders, and they get to play them at home. So by default, they win the game. I'm not going to go into it. We talked about Philly a lot. I do want to see Jalen Hurts run the ball a little bit this game and start getting teams to realize, okay, he's going to run the ball. They got to do that, Prime. But yeah, give me Philly, and I'm going to lock them in. Yeah,
that's going to be my third lock too. Over under on that one, ironically, is 38.5. So they're not looking for they're still thinking that the Philly offense isn't going to be all that great. And plus 560 on the money line for LA, or the Vegas Raiders, minus 770 for the Eagles. That's crazy. And Philly's favored by 11.5 in that game. Just to put that out there.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not even sure they'll cover.
I would actually stay away from that game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet that game. Not spread wise.
Ashton Genty's going to have a good game. For some reason, that interior defensive line is not playing well for. I don't know what the hell's going on. So they may be able to take advantage of that. But no, Philly, lock it in. All right, next game.
What happened there, real quick? What happened with Genty? We were all like, "Oh my God, offensive rookie of the year!" Da, 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 da. I mean, but come on, he hasn't contributed anything.
He's on a bad team, and that offensive line sucks. A bad team. They can't pass. They can't run. There's no threat. The defenses go out there and they are just laughing their ass off like, we get to play this offense. We know exactly what they're going to do. And Pete Carroll is just chewing all the gum in the world that he possibly can. Poor guy. Get out of there. Go retire. Go to, somewhere Boca Raton,
more spray
Florida.
Tan or whatever. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Now, this next one is going to be interesting, and I can't wait to watch. The 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers go against the Denver Broncos, who are 11-2 prime. Definitely the matchup of the weekend. I mean, there's a couple other good games out there, but this one, some people are saying a possible Super Bowl preview. What do you think?
I don't know about that, but I do say that this is going to be a game that I think means more to the Packers than the Broncos. The Broncos have been on a 10-game winning streak. And when you're winning that many games in a row, you're bound to lose one. And if there's ever a game that they can afford to lose, they might as well lose this one now. Packers are actually favored in this game by 2.5. Over under 42.5. Money line is real low on both sides. I'm gonna take the Broncos in this one, but it would not shock me if the Packers won. Like I said, Packers are actually favored in this game by 2.5 points. So Vegas really doesn't know. It's a coin flip. But if there's a game that the Broncos can afford to lose, it's this one because simply it's a non-conference game.
Right, and at a division, totally. Yep, understood. They can't afford to lose this game.
You still want to keep up with the Patriots, but they still can. They can afford to lose this one, and it wouldn't do too much damage.
No, it wouldn't. But we'll see how much damage it does do in the long run as we get through these next 4 or 5 weeks or whatever it is over here, because I look at both teams, and they are close to mirror images of each other. They both like to run the ball. They both play tough defenses. They both have good head coaches. And their quarterbacks can get the job done at times. And I know this goes against everything I believe, which is funny because I'm not a Jordan Love guy, but he's been playing pretty good lately. He's not turning the ball over. Christian Watson is back, like I mentioned. Josh Jacobs, get him into the fold. I think that they can put up more points, and that's why they're favored. So I am actually going to go with the road team with this one. I am going to go with the Packers in a Super Bowl rematch from, 1997 or something like that. Brett Favre and John Elway. Man, the good old days. How about that?
Good old days, yes, sir.
The good old days, baby. But, yeah, Denver, it's just, I don't know if they're going to be able to put up enough offense in order to hang around with Green Bay. It should be a low-scoring game, like a 17-13 type of game. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the bookies on this one, and I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Let me ask just a quick question. A lot of people still don't believe in Denver. They just won 10 in a row. What the hell does a team have to do to get respect in this day and age where you just rattled off 10 in a row? You've won it every way possible. You've high scoring, low scoring, defense, offense, the whole nine, and people still don't believe in this team.
I think they will believe in this team if they win this weekend. They'll believe in this team, that's for sure. But if they lose to Green Bay, there's going to be a lot of back talk about, told you Denver's really not that good. Bo Nix, the kid's okay, but not good enough to get the job done. So we'll see. This is a very big game, even from like a morale standpoint. So, I can't wait to watch this one. It's going to be a good one. So is this game. Your Lions, your 9-5 Lions, or what's their record, right? 8-5?
8-5, yeah.
8-5. Excuse me. Playing the Rams, who are, right there with Seattle right now, trying to win that division. This is a tough one, man. Your Lions need this game so bad, but your boy Matthew Stafford, he used to play for the Lions, and you love him so much. He's quarterbacking the home team over there. What the hell is going to happen?
Guess what the spread is on that one?
What the spread is on this game?
5.5.
It's
5.5.
It's five. I was going to say it's 5.5. Yep.
So that means the Lions are going to win. That means My head says the Rams. My heart wants the Lions to win. I just don't think the Lions have enough defensively. The only thing that they have going for them defensively in this game is that Matthew Stafford is a statue.
Yeah,
And that's
true.
the only, the Lions' biggest problem is they've been oh so close a lot of times this year, getting to the quarterback and not getting them down. I think if the only way the Lions get this game is if they get to Matthew Stafford. If Stafford's got 3-4 seconds to stand back there and just tie his shoe and put in a piece of gum and check his phone and all that, the Lions are going to get embarrassed. But my head is where I usually go in situations like this. The Rams still want this game. So give me the fighting Matthew Staffords in this game over the Lions.
Yeah, you better believe the Rams want the number 1 seed, and they are definitely playing better than the Lions, and the Lions got to go on the road into not a hostile environment at all, because there's probably going to be a lot of Lions fans there.
Oh, yeah.
The Rams and Chargers don't draw a dick. They just don't. They have nothing going on. But still, they end up playing well, and the Rams are, 10-3 right now, so they're playing pretty good football.
And how would Stafford feel if he's got a shot to put an opportunity to put a dent in the Lions' playoff hopes?
Oh, do you think he's got hate for him? Does he got hate for the Lions?
No,
or is like,
I don't.
for getting me out of there?
I think it was
so
a mutual parting of the ways. I don't think there's any ill will whatsoever. But that was 4 years ago. Now he's got time to get past all that. It's like, you know what? If I'm able to just put a little dent, make it that much harder for them to get in the playoffs, I think there'll be a little bit of satisfaction there.
Yeah, I remember hearing that news. I was taking a shit. I was looking at my phone, and all of a sudden I see Stafford traded for 2 first-round picks in Goff. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, if they don't win the Super Bowl, this is all for nothing. And what do? They win the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. Unreal. That had to hurt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, you talk about a kick to the groin.
Oh, jeez.
That was, oh my God. Of all things to happen, not only win it, but win it the very next year after you're traded.
Immediately they won. Oh,
damn.
Same thing with Brady. Goes to Tampa Bay, wins another Super Bowl. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to these next few games. Panthers 7-6, Saints 3-10. I don't know Saints how they won 3 games this year, but they won't win another one, not this weekend. Panthers need the game. Obviously, it's on the road. They're playing pretty good football, man. I don't think that this is like a game they go into when it's like a trap game or anything like that. No, I think they go in there and they take care of business. So I'll take Carolina.
Yeah, they're up they're favored 2.5 actually on that one. So yeah, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Just give me this. I do like the way that Bryce Young slowly but surely is starting to progress, because they're winning games, not necessarily because of him, but they're not losing games because of him either. So take that for what it's worth. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah. Panthers playing good team football right now. No doubt about it. Defense playing better than we would have thought. All right, our next game is the Colts, and we don't know who's going to be their quarterback. Riley Leonard, freaking Phillip Rivers, Moses. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Who's coming out of retirement to play, man? But they got to go play Seattle in Seattle, which is a really, really tough task, man. They're 10-3. They're looking for that number 1 seed also. They got Green Bay and LA to contain with. Yeah, man. Give me Seattle all the way.
Here's what Vegas thinks about that.
By the way, I'm going to lock this game too.
Okay. So Seattle's a 13.5-point favorite. Let's start there. Indianapolis is plus 730 on the money line. Seattle is minus 1150. Minus 1150. If anybody out there knows anything about betting, wow, that is unheard of for a professional football game. Wow. Minus 1150. Vegas has absolutely no confidence at all that the Colts are going to win this game. I think they probably would have been better off trying to get Peyton Manning to come out of retirement than Phillip Rivers. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, him and his forehead.
Seahawks. Yeah, give me the Seahawks in that one.
No doubt. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure that'd probably be your 4th lock if you could.
Right yeah, there. That's, minus 1150.
This could be my 4th lock. The 49ers coming off a bye at 9-4. They're home to host the Tennessee Titans, who got their 2nd win unbelievably against, how we mentioned, Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns last week. But no way they go into San Fran, who absolutely must have this game to make sure that not only the wild card, but even a chance to contend for that division at 9-4 right now. Yeah, 49ers all the way, Prime.
Yeah, they're 12.5-point favorite. They're minus 950 on the money line, so it's pretty much up there too. But yeah, give me if I could have a fourth lock, it would definitely be this game here, or a fifth lock. I'm sorry, this would be the San Francisco 49ers they're gonna roll the Titans,
as they should, no doubt. All right, going to Sunday Night Football, the Vikings and Cowboys. Again, two teams. It's like, we thought they would be good. We thought this one would be good. Well, I don't know what's going on over here anymore. JJ McCarthy, 5-8. Minnesota Vikings played a better game, but they're so up and down, on and off. And then the Cowboys, who were like, yeah, they got a chance to get back in. They beat Philly. They beat Kansas City. But then your Lions come out there and kick their freaking ass, man. So what gives? What are we going to see? Can the Vikings off an upset, I guess you would call it, against what, the 6-1 Cowboys?
No, I think Cowboys win this one. They're a 6.5-point favorite in this one. I think Minnesota is already looking into next season, game planning and stuff for their first game of the season next year. But yeah, I don't think they have a shot. I think the Cowboys actually not only cover in this one, but they actually this is probably a 10, 13-point victory.
You think so? You know what's amazing? The weirdest things happen in the NFL at the weirdest times, and Minnesota is going to win this game. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I know that Justin Jefferson's probably going to have a huge game. They've been having a lot of talk in the locker room. What's going on offense? What's our problem? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? But they picked up a victory. I think that actually because Dallas is now probably done, or they're thinking they're done. Dude, I'm taking the upset. Give me Minnesota to upset the Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
Sunday Night Football. I know.
I don't know. The way Philly's playing, Dallas might still have something to play for, and I think that's exactly how they're going to treat this game.
That's fair. What Prime have to say that the Vikings are that team? Who the fuck knows what they're going to do? Yeah, who knows? I think the Vikings may win this game. It's very possible. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we kind of got hosed on Monday Night Football. We got 6-7 Dolphins against 7-6 Steelers. God. All right, but like you mentioned, Miami is technically still alive.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgh has got to win this game to hold on to that division and win it, man. So can they do that, or does your boy Devon Achane come out here and do something big? What do you think?
You know what? I haven't done this too much this season. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins in this one.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Miami simply because the running game is there. Pittsburgh's run defense hasn't been what we thought it was going to be. Their defense as a whole hasn't been what we thought it was going to be this year. And we all know when Aaron Rodgers has a good game, he's going to follow it up with a lousy one. So he had a great game last week. He's going to follow it up with a stinker this week. I'm going to go ahead and take the +3.5, and I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers in the land of the Primanti Brothers sandwiches.
I have one reason why Miami will not win this game.
Tua.
You nailed it.
Tua.
You nailed it. He is the reason why they will not win. They will not be able to put up an offense in Pittsburgh in this bad weather. It's going to be cold. Miami does not do well in the cold. Prime, not going to happen, man. If they do win, I will kiss your Wolverine feet. Honestly, I would be amazed. But then again, I did pick Minnesota to beat Dallas. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with that? But those are our weekly picks right there, done. And again, listen to Prime. He knows what he's talking about. He's a lot better than this than I am. Make sure you listen to him. All right. Week 15 coming up, brother. All right, we'll see who takes it home. But we got one more thing to do before we go, and that would be the Freaky Fantasy Football Draft. And because you won, my friend, you get to make the first pick.
All right, I'm going to go with, I don't think I've picked this guy all year because he's been hurt most of the year. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with Joey Dimes.
Joey Dimes.
We'll go with Joey Dimes. I've been waiting to pick him all year. He just hadn't been playing.
No, it's a good point. I got him on my list as there's somebody to pick eventually, and this was a good week to do it. He was on my list, no doubt. I did talk. I'll save my quarterback, actually. I'm going to go with this week at running back. I'm going to take Derrick Henry.
Ooh.
Yeah, haven't picked him yet. Been saving him for a defense like the Bengals. So I'll take Derrick Henry, and I get another pick. I will take. You know what? This guy's good against anybody he plays. I'll take Brock Bowers for my tight end. So I got Henry and Bowers. Now you get two. You got Burrow for your quarterback, and you got two more picks. You can go anywhere you want.
I'm going to take for my running back. I don't think I've taken this guy all year yet, but now's as good a time as any. I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good idea.
And then for my wide receiver, I'm going to take a guy I know I haven't taken, but he's been on a little bit of a roll lately, and that's Mr. T. Higgins. So I'm going to double up with the Bengals this week.
Nice. All right, so we get Higgins and McCaffrey. All right, cool. Two more picks I got right now. I got Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. Let me see. Let's go with. I'll take Josh Allen. I haven't taken him yet for my quarterback. We'll go with Josh Allen, and we're gonna go with. You know what? Terry McLaurin should have a big day against your Giants. I'll take McLaurin. Yeah. Little scary Terry right there. All right. My team is shaping up okay. You got Burrow, Higgins, and McCaffrey. Oh, damn. That's scary already, bro. Now you got your tight end and defense to go. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to have to, because I picked all the good defenses earlier, I'm going to have to go with an average one now. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay's defense.
That's good timing to do it.
And I'm going to go with Hunter Henry as my tight end.
Ooh, that's a good one right there. Nice. All right.
See if I can make it two in a row.
I just got to make my defensive pick right now. And wow, dude, even though I picked Brock Bowers, I know that he should do well, but the Raiders aren't going to do well. I'll take the Eagles defense. Why not? Phillies defense. So I got Josh Allen, McLaurin, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers, and the Eagles defense. You got Joe Burrow, T. Higgins to go along with them, Christian McCaffrey, Hunter Henry. We got two Henrys over here, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby. Here we go. The Buccaneers, man. I don't know what's going to happen with them. They were a team that people were really high on going into the year. They started out really well. They were playing well. Baker looked like unstoppable, but right now, Tampa's not a team that I can rely on, even if they did get in, and we don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs right now. Carolina, I feel like, is playing better ball than them.
Well, and this is what we talk about it all the time when people, week 3, they want to start picking their MVP and Heisman winners. And then, Baker Mayfield up until like week 7, week 8 was everybody's darling. We propped him up on this show. And then, but we also gave him the benefit of the doubt, man. He's tired. The guy, you can just see it. We talked about a couple weeks ago how that energy and that exuberance and that
you mentioned that, yeah,
it's just not there right now. The guy's tired, man. He's exhausted from carrying that fucking team on his back. So
you ain't kidding. You're right.
I feel, I'm not off of the Baker bandwagon. I'm still a fan of his, but I think that now that they're starting to get players back, maybe these last 3-4 weeks will be a little bit easier for them. But that defense, man, has to get their act together.
Well, that's the thing. And here's the big thing that I didn't mention before, and shame on me for not mentioning it. They play each other twice in the last 4 weeks. So Panthers and Bucks match up 2 times a week from this Sunday, and then the last game of the year will probably end up being for the division title. It may end up being that Sunday Night Football matchup that they put in there. So, yeah, the 2 matchups that they got against each other, that's going to tell you all you need to know right there. And that'll be the only team coming out of the NFC South, because like you talked about before in Big Deal or No Deal, what's going to happen over here with the NFC South? I'm sorry, the NFC wild card. Are the 49ers definitely getting in there? If so, is it going to be Chicago? Does Green Bay fall off? Your Lions get in there? Does Dallas somehow sneak in there? I don't know. Real interesting, man. But these next few weeks going to be great. I can't wait. I love it. The only thing, Brian,
bittersweet.
That's the thing. It's bittersweet. We're nearing the end already. Oh, come on, man. What are you doing to me?
Make it 20 weeks. Just give us like
Yeah.
19, 20 games with 3 bye weeks or something.
Forget
Expand
the
the
players.
roster to 100
What they
players.
want. Yeah, 20
Right.
weeks. But that's the thing. You know what? Put another bye week in there. And then maybe you can have more football or something. I don't know. Whatever. Prime, had a great time with you today, my man. You make an hour
As
and a half
always.
feel like a minute and a half, brother.
Same here, my man. A little warm.
Always a
right now.
good time. We appreciate you guys out there. McNiner, thank you for chiming in. I know that you guys mostly listen after the show is over, so let me thank you in advance. Please subscribe to the show. Follow us on Twitter. You see our Twitter handles right there. All that good stuff, man. So we got more football to go. Thursday night coming up is our first, game of the week. And we got who on Thursday Night Football? It's the Falcons and the Bucks, right? So as we know, Tampa Bay really, really needs to win that game right there, and they probably should. All right, Prime. Another show in the books, another good one to go, and another weekend of football ready to roll.
Absolutely. Thank everybody. Make sure you keep up with us, social networks or social media. We're everywhere. You never know where we're going to pop up, but you will always see us here live every Tuesday night on YouTube, Power 32 Podcast.
No doubt. We're working on that whole Apple podcasting, connecting it to
Spotify
all that
thingy,
Spotify, right? All that crap. Dude, I'm 45, all right? So if you think I know what I'm doing, I have no idea. I need to go to like my nephew who's 6, who probably has a much better idea of what the computer is than me. I'm terrible on this stuff. But you know what? AI is pretty good. You got this like Copilot and Chat GBT and all this other stuff, man. Like, I don't know what I'd do without it, bro. It's amazing. Unreal.
Oh,
all right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Peace.
Peace.